Now it's time for October drill. And to do that, we brought in my friend Alex Jones from Intrepid Defense. So one, Alex, it's awesome for you to be here, but also Alex and I were in the same unit. So it's pretty cool to get to shoot with you over the past few months, coming out to the house and seeing everything. Learned a lot from you, everything else, and you've been a good training partner.
What's up, guys? My name is Alex Jones. I am one of the co-owners of Intrepid Defense, like Drew said. It's a range complex that's located in Bland, Missouri. We got everything you could ever want, from close to long range shooting and everything between. And like Drew said, I come from his old unit, so it's a really cool time to be out here shooting with dudes from units past. It's just a good time all around.
This month's drill is going to be the 5-10-25 shuttle. Setup for this will be 2 targets spaced 10 yards apart, and your starting position will be on center of those targets at 5 yards. To the left and right of that, you'll set up a cone or stick 5 yards away. And then lastly, you'll have another cone or stick at the 25-yard line. Hit the subscribe button down here and turn on the notifications so you don't miss anything coming out from us, content, videos. Just hit the button for us, please. A couple extra things about you. So you are a GM in USPSA
Yes,
in
I am.
limited optics.
Yep.
And you also have a very ridiculously high classification score, and that's under the new rules, which is pretty cool. Is it 107%?
It's 104 point something, but
Okay.
I was #1 for a little bit. Chris Tilley just took me over, so
Yeah.
shout out Chris Tilley.
Yeah, he does
But,
that,
yeah.
doesn't he? He's legit.
He
so.
likes to embarrass people. Yeah, he's good at it.
Fair enough, man. So you guys are gonna notice too, another interest of ours is strength and conditioning. You're gonna see the drill today is very much oriented towards that, and it's gonna be based off of a 5-10-5 shuttle that you'd see in the NFL or anything else. But we put our own little twist on it and that kind of stuff. So with that said, let's go ahead and break it down and let's get into it.
Starting position, hands are elastic sides, centered up on that stick or cone at 5 yards. On the buzzer, choose left or right. Move to the outside cone, gun up, engage the target with 2 rounds and 2 rounds.
After you've engaged both targets with 2 rounds each, you will then move 10 yards to the opposite cone. Once you've arrived at the opposite cone or stick, again, you'll engage both targets with 2 rounds each.
Finally, we're going to move to the 25-yard line, engage both targets with 2 rounds each to complete the drill.
When you're done shooting, make sure you grab your phone or camera, show us the distances, show us the time on your shot timer, and then show us your hits. Your A zones here and here are going to be worth 5 points each. C zone is 3, D zone is 1, and then your misses are -10. After you've posted, make sure you tag and collaborate with BAER Solutions and Intrepid Defense USA. Prize table. Remember, we've got Vertx with a $500 gift card. We've got Leupold giving away a DP Pro. BAER Solutions, we're donating one of our Wojtek belts. Agonic is giving away an EDB belt. And this month, we've got 3 extra prizes. 1, Tier 1 Concealed, $300 gift card. 2 Feathers Productions is donating a knife. And then Arise Manufacturing is giving away one of their systems also. So now's probably a good time to break down why we're doing this drill. We understand the skills, we understand all this little stuff. However, we really got to understand where it came from and why we're doing it. And the big part of that is, as we mentioned earlier, we're into strength and conditioning, right?
Absolutely.
And I've noticed training has changed over the last probably year or two, specifically going this way. And for a long time, we did stuff like this already, but it's starting to get more popular, right? So the drill it came from is the 5-10-5 shuttle that you'd see like at the NFL Combine.
Yep. One of the biggest things that I've seen personally in my experience with shooting sports and like traditional sports like football, basketball, baseball, that kind of stuff, that agility, the strength and conditioning stuff to make yourself a better athlete was already there. It's been there forever. In shooting sports now, it's really starting to dive its way in because you see some of the dudes who are at the top, they're incredible athletes and they can shoot.
Yes.
Half the sport is movement in and out of positions throughout the whole stage. So if you're more athletic than the people around you and you can shoot, probably going to do a lot better than the people around you.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier and we said, I heard someone say like 90% of what you're going to do is the shooting skills themselves.
Yeah.
And that last 10% is your athleticism or the movement and everything else. Now we're starting to see that's maybe it's 20, maybe it's 30. But you take a guy like Christian Seiler, you take a guy like you move really well. Joey Sauerland, like those guys are
Dudes
they're
who can move around.
Pure athletes, man. Right? And there was something you said earlier. You said, man, if I can get to that position 2 seconds sooner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I have 2 seconds to shoot on somebody who's probably a better shooter than I am, but I have 2 seconds ahead of them already just at the first position because I got there faster than they did.
Yeah, and I think too that people say, well, that could be more of a competition thing. No, man.
No.
Like
Movement is king.
We take back Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan stuff we did. If I could get to that position behind that truck quicker, now I notice that guy as he's moving from one position to the other, I can pick him up before he drops down in that position and lose him. Absolutely. And I had a little experience like that in Afghanistan, got behind the truck, but I picked this guy up as he's moving. If I had got there later, I wouldn't have seen where he went.
Yeah.
Right? So like there's a lot, it all applies. Shooting is shooting, but movement is movement. And we're gonna run that down today.
Absolutely. One of the main things that I always give an example of is a police officer who's riding around in his car for a really long time, sitting 2 to 3 hours driving around, and then have to boom, get out, full 100% speed, sprint. If you don't practice that or do anything related to that throughout the week, you're going to risk yourself getting injured and two, losing the person you're chasing after. So like a more athletic police officer is a more safe police officer for himself and the people around him.
Yeah, and how many times have you guys seen those videos? It's like, stop, and the cop takes off running, and you're like, you suck at that.
Yeah.
That whole running thing, right?
Yeah.
Or just like a video too, we see it like, you know, I turned 40 now, and we see, you know, the dad who's like, I still got it, and he like chases his kids, and like, I don't think you moved like you used to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're a cop, you're military, you know, if you're a citizen of the country and you're in fire, like it's all the same. Right. You still have to use those skills no matter what the situation is.
Absolutely. Yeah, movement is king. That's the last thing I could say about that.
Fair enough. So for our first skill that we're going to talk about our entries. So as you're standing here, buzzer goes off, we know we draw, and then we move to an outside cone. Now, once we get to this outside cone, we actually have to enter our position. There's a couple things we got to think about. One, Alex, we got to think about looking where we want to go. And then two, what I like to say is break foot, stop foot.
Absolutely. On that, looking where you want to go, eyes play a huge key role in this, not just to see where I'm going to pull the trigger at with my dot or my iron sights, but where I'm going to put my feet at too. So as I take off to this left side, I'm looking for a spot on the ground where I'm going to put my break foot and my stop foot before I actually get there, so I can transition my eyeballs to the target and have an overall faster engagement. So I found a spot, there's a clear little spot right here. I'm gonna put my break foot here, and I'm gonna put my stop foot, and as that's all happening in conjunction, my eyeballs are coming to the target. So as soon as my feet get planted, or right at that same moment, I can start engaging this target as quickly as possible.
So the break foot, stop foot comes from Keith Tyler from TFI Academy here in Tennessee. Great guy.
Awesome.
Definitely
awesome
check him out, man. He said break foot, stop foot, and then I thought, damn, that's good.
Makes sense.
Why didn't I ever think of that? You know what I'm saying? So where you're looking, right? The key thing that I like to think about, we talked about before, is I'm looking at the point I want to bring my eyes up. So I'm going to look to right where I want my break foot to go. And that break foot is that inside foot. I like to point the toe in the direction I want to bring my hips around to. Just like I would throw a kick, right? And throw that'll, by pointing the toe as I step in, that naturally brings my hips around for me, and it makes the presentation a little bit easier.
The next skill we want to talk about is our body control or body positioning, right? So at this position, we do not want to be standing upright and tall because we know we have to push out another 10 yards, and we want to do that as fast as we possibly can. So as you notice us moving in here and utilizing our break foot and stop foot, the whole goal is to stay low here, because what I'm going to have to do, if I stand straight up and engage these two targets, I have to get low again in order to move, right? So the smarter person would stay here and stay low so they can move their body, step out, do what they need to do.
Fair enough, man. So we got the body positioning, right? And just to kind of clarify that, as you get down here, I don't like you standing behind me like that. I feel very vulnerable. Stand over. All right. So as we do that, right, as I'm down, a lot of people think stay low. They tend to bend at the waist. You're squatting into it so you can generate power and push off the ground, okay? And that might look a little bit different for everybody.
Absolutely.
But you've also got, so there's that aspect, and then we've got to get our transition from target to target. Now these are a little bit wider transitions. Instead of like the small near transitions or bump transitions, you'll notice as you shoot the target in front of you and then you bring the gun over this way, it's going to create a natural lean as you use your hips to drive. So you might notice as you use that transition to the far target, it creates a natural lean in the direction that you want to move, which will dictate our movement, and we'll talk about in the training portion. Then lastly, let's go ahead and talk about our exits. We kind of led into it with the other one as we transition that gun and we start loading our weight. So one thing you might notice is we transition to that far target over here, we tend to naturally load into this position.
In this direction, you see as his hips are kind of opened up to that target that he's going to shoot at, the same thing, the same play is here. His hips are opening up to the position that he's going to go to next. What we don't want to do is have him stand straight up, because what he's going to have to do is immediately load those hips again and come back down. So we're trying to stay in that position as best as we possibly can while we're accurately engaging the targets. So The movement piece is just as easy. I don't have to waste time doing anything random with my body, or that false step or that rocker step that a lot of people do that you'll see in competition or just shooting on the range.
Yeah, we see that rock back a lot, and it just has to do with how you're standing, right? So again, as I go from here to here, you might notice that you kind of naturally lean in that direction, which creates that. So all I have to do is push off the lead leg and bring the back one across. If you tend to be a little bit more centered up as you shoot both targets and don't get that natural lean, that's okay. You might notice that you do an opening step to then turn your hips, and then you can go from there. But let's make sure we're not standing straight up as we shoot, dropping back down, or leaning back to push off the back foot, because steps equate to time.
Right, movement is efficiency, and efficiency wins matches. So, skill number 4. Moving up range. This is something you're going to see a lot in competition, and just any time you're really training at the range, a lot of people don't practice going up range. So it's something we really wanted to talk about with you guys. So as I enter my final 5-yard position here, and I open my hips and shoot my final 2 rounds, you can notice how my hips are naturally opening up toward that target, and they're opening up to where I can move up this range. And what I want to do is utilize that and utilize my hips being forward so I can actually get out and take off running. I don't want to be doing anything weird where I start like backpedaling into this position, because I'm trying to move as efficient as possible. The other thing we really want to talk about is our gun, right? Any range you go to, doesn't matter if it's a competition or like a work range, you don't want to be flagging everybody as you're running around the range. It's just unsafe practice. So as I'm moving out of this position, I'm trying to maintain muzzle awareness as best as possible. And Travis Tomasi made this thing, I don't even know what he called it, but it's something that stuck with me when I watched his YouTube video. He turns his wrist and angles it down, so you cannot bring your shoulder just doesn't want to do this as you're running around. You'd have to force that motion, like thoughtfully force that motion versus just running with your hand back, so you can run it here. And then as you come to turn, your gun comes up and you twist your wrist naturally. It's a very efficient way that I've taken into competition, and it's helped me move up and down the range as safely as possible and as fast as possible.
You got to think too, if not just from competition, but if you're moving back to a position of cover, it's the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
We're focusing on the movement, getting from here to there as quickly as we can, and getting that gun back up on target so we can shoot both of them. And if we do that correctly with our movement, it'll make shooting the targets easier, and we'll be a lot quicker at it. So, like we've done in our other videos, Alex, we're gonna run this thing several times each, 2 or 3 times. So we're gonna shoot it, let's talk about, let's see how we do. We're gonna write down our times and hit factors so everybody can see, and just kind of see the different ways to run it.
Absolutely.
So I think starting off, let's put some times and hit factors to our standard setup. And I know we were talking, hey, I wanna go left first and then right first. And then as I turn around, because that gun being back, it's probably a little more, it's probably less awkward than running that far with the gun like this.
Yeah, right-handed versus left-handed.
Yeah,
like play to your strengths. If you're left-handed, you might want to go the opposite direction as us. It just depends.
Yeah.
But
well, let's see what it looks like. We'll do both.
Absolutely.
So I'll tell you what, man, I'll go first.
Okay.
And you can critique the hell out of me, right?
I'm going to beep you, then I'm going to get the hell out of here.
All right, let me put it on instant then. Shooter's Global Shot Timer.
Yes. Yes. TM.
Dude, I like these
They're
guys.
nice, yeah.
I need a new one of these. Shooter's Global. I would love for, have a couple more of these. This is the older model. However, dude, the stuff they got going on with the camera and like the app and shit, it's pretty sick.
They're the bee's knees.
All right, so starting off, go left, look where I want to go, right, look what part of the ground, pick it up, 2 and 2, and go
I'll
back.
meet you at the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
All right, shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
Oh, I pulled a couple.
15.69.
15.69. All right, let's go check it out and see what we got.
How'd it feel coming in and out of the brakes?
Which ones? The close ones?
Yeah, the close ones.
It felt okay. I think I might have been a little late getting the gun up.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did. This one looked good. This one over here was a little late. And then what we had talked about before is that rounding. Very challenging coming into this. The way that you're going to turn and open the hips, especially with the gun, because it's not like in like an athletics, another type of sport where you can just whip your hips around and take off running. You have to be cognizant of where this death machine
is. I noticed. I feel like I rounded that off.
I think that's going to be something that's very challenging. Whatever way you go as your second cone, it's going to be very challenging to not round that essentially instead of a straight line. But I think the person who can do that is going to shave some time off.
Yeah, so I had one of these was from over there, and the other one was from 25. So 26.
Looks good though. You got the same over here.
2 Charlie.
2 Charlie.
So 26 and 26 is
Yeah.
52, right?
52, yeah. 52, and then 15.69 was the time on that one.
All right.
I have a feeling for right-handed shooters, left is 100% going to be.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes.
Stand by. Nice. 13.32.
Well, we'll see what the old target looks like. But tried to push pace on that one. Definitely pulled some. Yep, I think it was over here. So there's 5. Oh, there's a 6 shot. That's what I figured. Delta, 5 alpha, 1 delta. And then delta.
Grab that paster. So
Yeah.
you got 4 alpha, 1 Charlie, 1 delta. So
Yeah.
24 points?
How many?
24 points.
Yeah, 24, and I got 5 alpha, 1 delta on that.
So how many? So that's 26.
Yeah,
24, 26
50.
is 50, right?
yeah. Yeah, we'll clean this up as we go. That one's getting in and out of those positions because, like, you don't think about it, but this target, or this, like, even into the sides, going to the left, I mean, that's still 12, 13 yards
Yeah.
to try to rip a double.
Yeah, I think for me, one thing I'm doing is I'm thinking too much about these closer shots.
Absolutely.
And I'm shooting, when I get to here, toss that down. When I get to here, I'm shooting this target pretty much the same as I'm shooting that one.
Yeah.
That sucker's twice as far away, right?
Absolutely.
So I just need to rip this and then bang, bang. So I need like a certain sight picture or confirmation on this.
Yeah.
I need to have a different one over here.
Yeah, that's your solution of, like, this is 5 yards, I
Yeah.
can just blast versus, like,
Because I'm already
ping.
get out of position.
Absolutely.
I think that's screwing me up. You want to reverse it this time?
Yeah, let's go the opposite way. I think it's going to be the
Let's
hard
get
way.
weird running like this.
Yeah.
No, I don't like any of that.
Yeah, it just looks awkward because,
Dude,
like,
yeah, I got here. I might have a mic in there. I've something about getting back here and I brought the gun up. Everything felt off.
it also just feels weird because, like, you have to step in, like, weirdly. You almost have to, like, overstep to, like,
And
whip your
twist
hips back
back.
around. Because if you step normal, then you have to, like, step again.
Yeah, and that was 16.32. So that cost about a second.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough angle. If it was a shorter distance, wouldn't be as bad. But taking off a full sprint at 25, it's like, that's
Yeah,
tough.
I think the big thing, once you get into position, because you have to like run more upright too,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
If you're trying to run fast, like, eventually when you're sprinting, you get tall. So you have to get tall for, like, the full strides to happen. And if you can't do that because you're like this, you're literally stopping your motion. You had 3 Charlies here, 3 alphas. So 24 on this one.
Yeah, 2 of those Charlies are definitely from the 25. And then I got 5 alphas, 1 delta.
That's a line breaker.
Nope.
No?
No, if you get closer, it's definitely
Oh,
not.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be awkward.
Yeah, here you go.
Stepping in. You have to, like, overstep.
Yeah, if you put it on the back of your belt, it doesn't fall off as much.
All right, going right first. Wrong mag. All right. Stand by. That was 14.13, so about a second slower on that. And
Yep.
I do feel like I pulled some. I never even felt stable here. Like, I stepped in here and was trying to, like, find my footing and shooting at the same time.
It doesn't allow you to enter the position correctly and like get your hips back like this.
Absolutely.
You find yourself like leading like this and being more upright. I don't know.
I was like leaning super far forward.
I can see for like a short movement, no big deal.
If
I gotta get up to speed.
If it was to about 10 yards back, it would be fine because you're getting to like a point at 5 yards where you're up to speed, then you're slowing back down. But when you're full hauling, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, we know which way we're going now.
Pulled that delta there. I think that was on the back. This target looks okay.
So you had 2 Alpha, 3 Charlie, 1 Delta.
Yeah, this one was 5 Alpha and 1 Charlie. Oh, that's gonna be a toughie. So 5, 28.
So 10, 19, 20 points here.
Yeah, so 28, 48 points, woof. Plus a slower time. Yoink, Scoob.
Yeah. You were saying I was getting the gun up just a little bit late.
So the first one's good, but like
right?
when you start to get into that full sprint and you have to settle back down, like your lower body's settling back down,
and then
you're settled, and then the gun comes up.
So this time, I noticed one thing you do is you keep the gun out and kind of raise it up more as you come in.
I don't like doing it for like off the draw stuff, but like when I'm out in front of me, my gun's in front of me, I can see it, I can slow my hips and then bring my gun up versus like shoot it out or do anything else.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move, because I'm looking where I want my brake foot.
Yeah.
I think because I'm having to chop down so much,
yeah,
that's affecting me. So I'm gonna look a little bit farther in front and start presenting sooner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens.
And then like not do it, so you know like the old, like you see the old videos, like some cops sitting here like this where they're walking around and doing like this press out thing.
I know.
I think that's super, like you don't get to build your gyroscope with your wrists and your hands.
Stand by. That one felt better.
You look good. All the movement looked good. You stayed low on everything.
15:28.
Yeah.
I think my points are going to be better on this. Let me write that down.
And I mean, like we were talking, I think points are what's going to win you. Like you can be really fast on this, but you're not going to be accurate. You look good on this target. I think I only see 1 Charlie.
Ah, just barely off the side.
Yeah. That's a toughie though. Yeah, you got 5 Alphas here and a Charlie.
4 Alpha, 2 Charlie.
So 28 on this side.
1, 2.
And then 26. That's going to be mid 50s. All right, let's see if we can turn on the old gas. Stand by.
How'd that one feel?
Timer fell off. The second iteration, not great, 1409, but I think I had better shots on that one. This one here, to get my first shots.
It fell off right here, so it still got your times.
This one fell off because I came just wobbly off that target. But 1409, line breaker Charlie. Line breaker Alpha, so 5 Alphas, 1 Charlie.
Oof, 2 Charlie.
So 3 total?
Yeah, 3 total, 54, right?
Yep. 54 at 1409. I got you there.
Run it one more time.
Yep. This is a good drill though. I mean, it incorporates a lot of moving pieces. Can you get up? Can you start? Can you slow down? Which a lot of people don't train.
Yeah.
Deceleration is just as taxable as like trying to get and going, you know?
And that's what gets me is the decelerating. Like, I watch guys like you and other really athletic dudes like Seiler and Sauerland.
Yeah.
And you guys can just chop your feet and get right in position. It takes me an extra step or two depending on the speed to do that.
And that's something that like I really think there's a lack of that going around, like especially in like the shooting sports community.
Yes.
I implore you, next time you go to a match, watch everybody who's around you. Watch everyone choppy step like he's talking about, or stand straight up when they get to their position, and they have to almost like kick step themselves into gear again to go.
Stand by. Ah, me.
You're coming into this position, look great. Like you got hips around. We're good. We're still low. You didn't have to fix nothing with the knees.
That felt solid.
Yeah.
And I know I put 2 alphas on that sucker on the left.
Yeah.
Not when I was like coming out, I was like, get low.
Yeah.
You know, just like
stay low,
get lower and control
it.
more and
right.
sit the hips. But
because I like the similarities between like traditional sports and this, the only difference is now you have to manipulate a gun in front of you, and there's not a lot of things in like football or basketball. I guess you have to dribble a ball, but like you don't have to be conscious.
You don't have to hold something out like
right,
this.
and you don't have to be conscious of where it's pointing.
Like even in lacrosse, like I played lacrosse.
Yeah.
I can still move that stick with my body.
Yeah. And use it as like counterbalance and counterweight.
2 Charlie here.
So you have 1 Delta, 1 Charlie, 4 Alpha. So, all right, let's stand by.
Nice.
That one felt good.
13:38.
That one felt good, getting in and out of positions. We shall see what these look like. There's either a double here or I missed one. But
I know you didn't miss anything.
okay, so then I doubled one of these. So 1 Charlie.
Yeah, there's your double right there.
Yeah.
You can see it. Bam, and then bam.
Cool, I'll take that one.
So 1 Charlie total, so 58 points.
That'll do it with
Nice, dude.
13.38, yeah. So like,
Let me clear out real quick.
what I tried to do with this first one, I felt like on the last 3, me coming into this position, I was just slow on the gun.
Oh, yeah.
And it starts the whole drill off slow of like not shooting for 2 seconds. Bow, bow. Now you're just 2 seconds behind on everything.
Yeah, for me, I feel like the more I'm thinking about the next position, like if I think of that position too quickly, how many times did I have a Delta or a Charlie? Right. It's the first shot as I pan over here, I'm trying to get on that sucker too quick.
Right.
And I'm starting to already lean and it's pushing. I'm like, shit, dude.
Because I'm all about the lean, but I do the same thing. It has to be on the second shot where I take a good crisp trigger pull. I'm like, especially a farther target like this, bam, bam, and then I'm off moving. And I do the same exact thing. I come over and my hips and everything's moving. I'm dragging the gun.
Yeah, it's like I'm already trying to leave and I haven't even taken the first damn shot yet.
Right.
And that makes the point suffer.
If the target was this close and I was coming off that all day long because it's a bigger, wider target, a shooter solution. But that one, yeah, I gotta sit still. Yeah. Hit that and go.
And this one too, I noticed on the 2 that my times I felt the better runs, the 2 main things I did was here, I tend to pull the elbow a little bit. When I did that, I tend to straighten it up more.
Absolutely.
Versus rounding off.
Yeah.
Right? And then the last thing is coming into that final position, the more I sat into it and got low, like on that one, when I turned around and got my gun up, my dot was there.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't having to come onto the target.
I wasn't have to like I'm on a trampoline trying to sit there and do that.
I felt like that saved me. Honestly, just sitting in was probably half a second.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's just like a wide receiver coming into a break where he breaks down and then has to come back toward the quarterback.
Yeah.
Same thing here. You're doing the exact same thing just with a gun in your hand. So you only have one arm to pump. So the quicker you can get lower and plant and just stay here, because I'm not having to move versus if I come into it like this and then I try to swing into it and now I'm trying to build that gyroscopic area with my knees.
Yeah, so I think it's like that rap song, just get low.
Get low, baby.
So now we've added up our scores, right? And we got our hit factors. Interesting, to say the least, right? So we added these up, and for me, I was averaging around between 50 to 54 points on all my runs. My times were somewhere between like 15.2, most of them were in the 15s, 15.28, 15.69, 15.60, and then a 16.32. So I know for me, my natural, like, if I'm just doing it, probably 15 and a half seconds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The one that had the extra, like, half a second on it, that's the one we went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
That one we were just testing things out.
Get rid of that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So running at normal, I was between 15.28 and 15.69. So I'd say probably for me, 15 and a half.
Yeah, and that's a doable pace that you can consistently repeat.
And then I'm getting 50, 52, 54 points in that. So for me, my times, so the hit factors was a 3.31, 3.3142, then a 3.5340, then a 3.2057 or 2 or 1. I don't know what I wrote. But we're just tossing out that one that we went over the shoulder like this.
Yeah.
So my hit factors was between a 3.2 and a 3.5, sitting around there. Yours were a little bit quicker, but like not that much quicker. You know what I'm saying? No, they were substantially quicker. So you were averaging about a second and a half or 2 seconds faster than me.
Yeah.
Right. So sitting on that, second and a half, 2 seconds faster. Good, man. And your points were just a little bit higher than mine too. You had one that was 48.
Yeah.
Right. However, you also had a 50, a 56, and a 58 points. So first run you had 50 points divided by 1332 is a 3.75. We'll call it 7537. By the way, if you're watching this and you do this, don't just give us 2 numbers because there's a lot of people doing it. So go to the 4th digit so I can order you guys correctly on the tracker. The run that we did over the shoulder, points suffered. Again, it was the slowest time and the least amount of points that we had.
It's the most inefficient way to move.
Yeah,
it's going to translate
it messed
to
us up
everything.
big time back here. So that was a 14:13, right?
Yeah.
So time, and then that was a 3.3970.
Yeah.
Cool. Your best run was 50, excuse me, not your best run. Your next run was 56 points at a 1409 for 3.9744. And then your best run, 58 points. You only had one Charlie, right?
Yep.
And that was at 1338 for a 4.3348. I feel like if you're doing this and over a 4 hit factor, bro,
your boot's
smoking.
I think a consistent pattern is if you're over 4, it's going to be like, I don't want to say luck, but you did a very good run and everything clicked on that one.
Yeah.
You didn't have any slippage. You didn't have anything weird. Your eyes snapped to targets like they needed to. I think very consistent, very high level shooters will stay in the 14-ish, 15-ish area. Somebody's going to break sub 13. I know they will.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's going to do it, and they're going to do it clean, and it's going to be super impressive to watch. But
I already have the accounts. I know they're going to run this 50 times, 10 days in a row.
This is definitely one of those drills. If you run it over and over again, you're going to get better at it. But
For sure.
This one definitely emphasizes movement. As you can see, like in and out of those positions, that's where you lose time. It's not pulling the trigger, because like if we probably went back and looked at our shot times, there's probably at most, especially even back here, it's like maybe a half a second between shots on the split times. The vast majority of loss of like time is coming from in and out of position and sprinting, right?
I would say too, if you're running this, run this 10 out of 10 times. What is your average?
Right.
Or like how consistent can you be going 95%? You know, not over 100, but you can guarantee you're going to score a certain amount of points. My feeling is if you're shooting this in over 2.5 hit factor, that's good.
Your boot's good.
Like you're doing good, man. That's real good.
This is a low point stage with
Yes.
a high time value.
And I feel like if you're shooting it over 3 hit factor, like, hey man, great job.
Yeah.
If you're shooting it around the 4s, and if you're shooting it over 4s, and you can say, I ran that 10 times, all 10 runs were over 4 hit factor, I'd be like, I didn't realize Christian Seiler had it. You know what I'm saying? No, that's a great thing to do.
Right.
So remember, with all these drills, it's not just how fast can I do it once.
Yeah.
Great, set a pace. Now try and achieve that multiple times, right? Like you're to push speed, you'll push the speed and we'll see the hits open up a little bit.
Yeah.
Then keep that speed and try and dial in those hits until you get it where you want to push speed again. You know what I'm saying? But what we're really looking for with all this is how consistent can you be?
Yeah. And
it's a great training tool for you and an evaluation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, great drill. We're a little biased. We came up with it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time.
It's the greatest drill you'll ever shoot.
Yeah, it does everything, hits all the points.
All right, gear breakdown, right? So we do this every time. Everybody has questions, so hopefully you're watching this. So first things first, man, you don't have to use ours, but get you a training journal, something to write things down with. Comes in super handy when we go to the range, just writing down times and hit factors. Ours is awesome. It's got dots instead of lines, so you can draw stuff. It's just kind of starting head to toe, man. BAER hat, you guys can pick it up on the website. We love your money. Please buy stuff. And then going down from there, I use the Auto Engineering Noise barriers. I just recently had to replace these little foamies because I was like, they're not working anymore. Well, they were smashed out, and I bring it tinnitus, you know what I mean? So running those have been great. Other than that, Leupold sunglasses. So these are the Katmai's. I really love these things. They're great, super high quality. BAER shirt, Vertx Delta Stretch shorts, and Ultra Superior shoes this time instead of the Lone Peaks. They're just a little bit thinner. Getting the pistol. So I'm shooting the Staccato P. It's a stock gun, just added a DP Pro. That's it, just how it came from the factory. So mags, belt, BAER Solutions Wojtek belt that we like. We have a ton of these gray belts on the website right now, so check them out. And I'm running the Blade Tech drop, Blade Tech holster, and their Tech mount attachment systems. And these things have been great, man. If you need to, if you're not familiar with them, it's just a disc that you can turn however you want, right? Honestly, it kind of negated our whole pattern for getting extra cant and all that stuff. But other than that, man, that's pretty much it. Watch, I'm wearing my old Tag Heuer watch. I don't know how you say it, but it's a watch. It tells time. It's super cool. Aqua Racer or something. Yeah, man. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this. For me, other than that, it's been Action Target stands for everything and Action Target targets. We're very appreciative of them. And, running the Staccato. Sent us this. Running Staccato ammo. So really appreciate them sending that out, man. I like it a lot. So other than that, that's all I got. What about you?
All right, starting from head to toe, I'm obviously just wearing it's like a headband thing that I cut into a tiny little headband, got from work. Coming down, this is a Walmart sun shirt, if you can believe it. They're fantastic. They're like $14. I got them in every color. I'm a big fan, especially during the summer. I get really, really sunburned. As you can see, I get pretty tan. Sunburn burns, so I like to wear long sleeves if I can, and this like kind of wicks away the water. It drips down my hands, and it becomes an absolute menace to me. Going into the belt, it's a Amazon race belt. Type in USPSA belt, and that's what you're going to get. So it's an IRSC. I really didn't know. It was the cheapest one on there when I first got into competition. These are the same thing. They're a little cannibal. You can just kind of spin them around. I do have a Black Scorpion Gear trigger guard holster. Gun I'm running is a Masterpiece Arms DS9 hybrid. Fantastic pistol. The only thing I added to it was obviously SRO. They make a different version of this. This is the first version. It's fantastic. I put so many rounds through it. Going down to pants, I got the old Fall Raven Keb trouser. These are the black woodland pattern. They're fantastic. They're good for everything. They got these nice little venti pockets here. Watch this. And then into shoes, I'm a big fan of the Salomon XA Pros. I probably have 10 pairs of these in my house. I run through them for everything, working out, doing everything. And glasses, Gators. Gators make some fantastic polarized glasses that are ballistic rated and have wraparound. They have all different lenses, but I like these the best. I think they look the coolest. And then for ear pro, I'm running the Axel X-Core Pros. Fantastic earphone. You can listen to music to it. They Bluetooth, they do everything, as well as noise cancel. And then you can still hear the beep. I run music through that when I'm at the range or when I'm even at competition sometimes. And then I'm blasting some Supervel 124 grain. Stuff's amazing. It's fantastic. I think a lot of people in the competition world are running Supervel. They make great stuff. So,
quick question for you.
Yeah.
Why is that mag over here like that?
So now when you're looking at IPSC rules, IPSC won't allow you to have anything in front. You have to go into, like, it's not got to be on your hips and stuff. There's some rules, you can look them up, but USPSA doesn't really care. I'm a huge fan of just having more mag space. I don't like to do like crazy cant with my body as I'm running around. So if I have to, this will be my first mag, this is my second. If I have to drop mag again to go to in the same thing. So I can keep the gun in the same neutral spot. I don't have to do anything weird with my body. I don't have to break anything weird, but I can just move my hand over and come here versus move my hand and come here. So it's something to practice with. I have it on my work belt as well.
Yeah.
Work belt that I have like a side magazine loaded on this way. Same thing over here. It just allows me to have more space on a belt that sometimes gets loaded down with a bunch of random stuff.
I hadn't seen that before. That's smart. That's kind of cool, man.
I've seen a lot of people do it, especially in like the PCC world, because this
PCC.
one sticks to where it's like this big over here.
And that one's,
away. This one's out of the way. So
I just haven't seen it that close to the holster over here, but
I haven't had any issues coming through or getting off. I do highly, if you're in the competition world and you want to run a trigger guard holster, takes some getting used to, but obviously the fastest way to get out of the holster, bar none. So
fair enough. Cool, man. I think that's it. Other than that, appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good time. Submit them. Let's see your runs and enjoy this munch drill.
Absolutely. God damn it. Lock my goddamn holster. Huh.
Get something? When you went to here, you only shot one target. You didn't keep up.
Idiot. Idiot. What was your points on the last one?
Did I not write it down?
Uh-uh.
I don't remember. I thought I wrote it down.
It's you just have the time.
Oh, shit.